We are pleased to welcome back onto our set the Plymouth County Treasurer, Tom O'Brien, who has been County Treasurer for 10 years, over 10 years.
It's been 11.
It's been 11.
It has been 11 years.
So you've been doing this job for a long time.
What's amazing to me is I've actually been the Plymouth County Treasurer longer than I was a state rep.
Wow.
What's nice is people remember that I was a state rep from 96 to 2006,
Yep.
but since then I've been the Plymouth County Treasurer.
Okay, and we're going to talk about one of the great benefits that your office has for all the member towns, and there's 17?
The 27.
27 member towns.
27
okay.
communities in Plymouth County.
And it's the bulk purchasing power.
And so the county, it doesn't come out of my office directly, but Plymouth County runs a bulk purchasing program for our communities. Interestingly enough, one or two of the programs that we have become so popular that they go outside of Plymouth County and are serving other counties, other states, even other regions. And one of the functions and goals of Plymouth County and county government is to provide regional opportunities for our communities.
Okay.
And what we recognize is that you effectuate economies of scale when purchasing goods and services. And sometimes we don't think about that. That if an individual community or an individual school or an individual town hall had to purchase on their own would be more expensive.
Right, right.
And what we found out is towns don't talk to each other maybe as much as they should.
Or we think they do, right.
Or we think they do.
Right.
And we've even found out that quasi-public agencies like PACTV may not be talking as much as they should. You folks may even have some equipment here that's expensive equipment. I know you get great deals and you guys are bargain shoppers. But if you need a camera or some other piece of equipment, I'm sure there are other community news programs or news stations or news entities that need similar equipment. We could put out an RFP to bulk purchase that equipment.
Batteries.
It's always cheaper.
We need batteries.
It's
we
always
go through so many batteries, seriously.
So seriously,
I'm not kidding.
We've already come up with something. So what you would do is you say to yourself, okay, we're buying so many batteries.
Right.
We could get them cheaper if we bought 4 times as many because other people need the batteries. You call down to Plymouth County, you talk to Frank Basler, our county administrator, or you call me, the county treasurer, and you let us know what you need, usually what you're paying, and then we would go through the process of putting out an RFP. We'd find other entities that were interested in the same product, and we'd put out a bid. And invariably, I would say probably 98 times out of 100, our prices are cheaper.
Oh, I'm sure.
Than what you can get on your own.
Yeah.
And we can do that on an annual basis, and we're really saving millions of dollars for communities that participate in our programs.
So what are some of the bigger items that a lot of communities participate in for the bulk purchasing?
So I would say our most successful program, and Frank Basler deserves a lot of credit for keeping this program going, is our bulk purchasing for municipal vehicles.
Okay.
Now, it's predominantly public safety vehicles. It's predominantly police cruisers. However, some towns have tapped into it to do other vehicles that they need for DPW and the like. But we have a program that now serves more than 300 communities around New England. So we have towns in Connecticut, towns in Rhode Island, towns in the northern New England states that are participating in our bid because it's so good.
Right.
We go out and we put out a bid for Ford, Toyota, Chrysler, Dodge, and we put that bid out, and they're competing because they know they can sell significantly more cars through our bid than if they did it on their own.
Just a question, are the specifications exactly the same? Like, do different towns maybe have different specs that you have to take into consideration for this?
You know, it's a spot-on question because we bid it with a basic vehicle, but have prices for different options.
Perfect, okay.
And so it's a complicated bid, and that's why I gave Frank Basler some credit. It takes hundreds of hours to go through this and to make sure that you cover every part that any police department may want.
Sure.
Whether it's a headlamp or something different. There are thousands of parts. So the catalog is very significant. And those options are available to every community.
And those are very expensive line items. I know we just voted in Pembroke on a couple vehicles, and they're very expensive.
And towns coming through the Plymouth County vehicle bid are saving tens of thousands of dollars when they purchase vehicles.
So why wouldn't all the towns do it?
Well, and the good news here is most towns are doing it through us. We have some, it's interesting because police chiefs and fire chiefs are very good at stretching a dollar.
Yes.
And they've done a lot of research and found out our bid is actually the best, as far as we know, best in the eastern United States. The state has a competitive bid, but ours is a little better. There are other bids out there, but people are smart. They shop around and have found out our bid is excellent. I know that the police chief in Hanover, Chief Sweeney, was one that did a lot of homework and a lot of research because he was looking and saying, hey, we're with the Plymouth County bid, but could we get a better deal elsewhere? And they found out not only couldn't they get a better deal elsewhere, our deal was really good.
Right.
So we have a number of groups that participate, but we do other things as well.
So, okay, so aside from, now do you also do like the big vehicles that the DPW needs, like the, the ice movers and the big huge dump trucks and the sanders?
We don't do that yet.
Okay.
But if
those are so expensive.
they are extremely expensive.
They're crazy.
And what would probably need to happen is for DPWs to talk to each other to find out if they're on the same schedule to purchase a vehicle.
Okay.
Because you can imagine communities go through their cruisers a lot faster.
Oh, sure.
And so they're purchasing those on an annual basis. The big dump trucks and other huge vehicles have a longer lifespan, and so they're not replaced as quickly. However, if we found 3 or 4 towns that were looking for something,
you'd go ahead and do it.
Absolutely, we would. And we'd save them lots of money.
Okay. What's the second biggest thing besides vehicles?
Second biggest thing probably is a service that we provide, and that's the OPEB investment vehicle that you and I have talked about. And that goes to 4 counties. That's Barnstable, Bristol, Norfolk, and Plymouth County. We could do another whole show, and we've talked about it a little bit on that. But then just back to the goods, we do a fuel oil bid. One of our more successful bids, it's a smaller bid, but it's for ice melt.
Oh, right. And boy, do we use a lot of that lately in the
Well, it's one of
winter.
those things you don't think about in June, July, and August, and September. And then all of a sudden, come January, you need some ice melt.
And it's really expensive to buy those little bags.
It's very expensive to buy the little bags. What happened for us and what was interesting is we got contacted by housing authorities from some of the communities in Plymouth County.
Because they have to be very careful.
They have to be very careful, and they have an elderly population. And what they were finding out is that they couldn't use the white ice melt because the senior citizens couldn't see it. And were slipping on it. And so they wanted a particular product that was colored. And not surprisingly, they have blue ice melt and orange ice melt. It's a little more expensive. And there's a product made here in Massachusetts called Inferno, made by a company called Lycar. And we put out a bulk bid for, I forget how many pallets we're doing, but it's a lot.
Lots of them,
Lots of them. And the housing authorities are buying those pallets from us and saving thousands of dollars.
Blue ice melt. Who knew? Who knew?
Well, they knew.
And
that's really the benefit of doing this show and talking to you. And hopefully people are watching and saying, hey, our town buys this, whatever the batteries you thought of here. If people think of something their town needs,
we can contact you.
They should reach out to the county because we can really do a good job with a bulk purchase bid. Now, if it's something that one town is buying and others aren't, maybe it's not something we could do.
But you could tell them. So if you think of something for your town that you buy a lot of, or if you're a nonprofit and you buy a lot of something, you can always contact. And how would they contact you?
So just, you've said it yourself, the internet is a great tool. Just look us up, Plymouth County Government. Look for the Plymouth County Treasurer, Tom O'Brien. Our Chief Procurement Officer is Frank Basler. He's the County Administrator. He's taken all the state courses. He has all the certificates.
He's got everything he needs.
He's got everything he needs.
Okay, great. Thank you.
We're done already?
We're done already. You see, it goes so fast because you're
does.
just a bevy of information. So, and you've been on a couple times, actually you've been on quite a few times, so if you want to see the previous shows that Tom has done to see all the different subjects that we've covered, you can go to our PCN's YouTube and search for Treasury Notes or Tom O'Brien, and it'll pop up.
Exciting.
Exciting. Okay, we'll see you next time.
I'll be here.
Okay.